and welcome to another edition of Our Young Show. And today I have my normal crew with me, and that's going to be Sergeant WP, better known as Denise, and we have Carl, and Carl is our guest host. And today we're just going to be talking about a few little things. We'll be talking about, Carl, tell us what
the
you're
Battle
going
of Tan Binh,
Tan
Vietnam.
Binh, and that was in Vietnam. And Denise will be bringing us up on a few other little things. One thing we're going to hit on quickly, and that's going to be ALS. And guys and girls out there, if you're suffering from ALS, there's a new guideline that's come out, and it's going to be very important to a lot of people because if you've been fighting with it before and it's taken a long time, the process is going to be shortened a little bit. So we'll get to that. But right now, let's just get a quick hello from everybody. Denise?
Well, I want to say happy belated Valentine's to all our veterans out there and their families. Truly hope that you had, a good day and your loved one showed you a lot of love on that day. I know Al always shows me love. So every day is a Valentine's Day with Al.
Nice.
Carl?
Well, I won't wish you happy Valentine's Day, but I will wish you a happy free hand grenade day.
Oh.
That's from a jungle fighter. But good to see you, and hope you're seeing us. And we have a lot going on today.
I just never know what these two guys are going to do or say. So believe me, they're always coming from the left or the right of me. But nevertheless, we're going to have a good Veterans Day. And every day is Veterans Day to me.
Oh, yeah, you know what? And come to think about it, yesterday was my anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Oh,
Somebody stayed married to you long enough so that we can say happy anniversary?
Well, she had no choice.
Okay. Happy anniversary, Karen.
Again, she
And
had
Al.
no choice. I made her a proposition that she just couldn't get away from.
All righty, Carl.
Oh,
We shift the audience to you.
that's all right. I'm listening.
So
I'm taking
what did
notes.
you want to tell us about today?
I would like to talk about the Battle of Tan Binh that I was a participant of. Tan Binh was the first brigade-sized battle in the Vietnam War, February 26, 1966. There have been some other battles fought that were battalion size, but Tan Binh was the very first brigade-sized battle of the war, called to win the title of the Battle of. And as I said, I was a participant that night. But this is the 48th anniversary of that fight. And most people do not know the fights, the battles that we in Vietnam were in. They can name a few, but there's so many of them too also. But we were the beginning of the troubles that were over there. The whole battalion was green, except for the veterans from previous wars. And we did not know, we did not know how to deal with the Viet Cong. We learned by OJT, on-the-job training. The night before this fight, they launched a probing attack that involved me. I was a grenadier, by the way, and that night, a M79 grenade launcher, firing grenades like a shotgun up in the air, lobbed them over. But they hit us with mortar and hand grenades. They were inside our perimeter, our concertina wire. We didn't know it. We were green, as I said. Someone of our command fired off a White Star cluster. That is a signal that the enemy is within the perimeter. But we didn't get it. So there was a short fight that lasted about 20, 30 minutes. A lot of shooting in that time. But the idea was that they would draw us out after them. And they did that. And at morning light, the whole battalion went out after the Viet Cong. And their plan was to draw us out, and then they would attack us in a three-prong attack and overrun the camp. But our hero of the day, I call him the hero, Major Pistone, saw the sandal footprints in the sand that one of them accidentally left, and he immediately ordered everybody to turn around in very, very sweaty conditions and hurry back to our positions at Tan Bend. We had left a skeleton crew back there. The artillery was there, the armor was there, but they could overrun. They could overrun the whole camp with more than 2,000 screaming Mimis charging at us. But we were back in position at nightfall, by nightfall, and they were surprised that we were in position. And wave after wave came at us about every half hour or so. The slaughter that went on is indescribable. They would carry their dead away on ox carts. And we had an LP, a listening position. That's 5 guys out in front who normally sit up at night. They had to stay hidden because if the enemy knew where they were in such a large force, they were dead anyway. So they had to be quiet, and they watched these ox carts being toted away. The bodies just thrown on top of these ox carts and carted away, mainly so we couldn't get an accurate count, and we didn't. But all night long, this fight went on. About 2 o'clock in the morning is when the first shot, and I blamed it on the 4th Cav. I'm sorry. At first, they were shooting. They were behind us. We were sort of in a circle, like a big circle. But the tracer rounds, that's the white, that's the red tracer round bullets, started coming from behind us, and I blamed it. I said to my foxhole buddy, what are they shooting over this way for? And then, I said, those 4th Cav guys can't get it right. But then we had an infantry charge coming at us. And like I say, I was a grenadier. Grenade launcher, you have to aim at groups of men instead of individuals. And I had 60 rounds that I collected from here and there. The basic load for an M79 grenade launcher was 20 rounds. But I had reached 60 rounds by collecting it from here and there. Some guys threw theirs away. And during that night, I was completely out of that ammunition.
Some heavy fighting.
Very heavy fighting. The machine gunner in the next position, there was it's a crew serve, 3 men over there, 3 guys over there. He fire burst too long. He was supposed to shoot, he was trained to 5 or 6 rounds, and then it bursts. But he was firing steadily, and he got hit in the head. So he was dead. And I crawled over, and to try to help to see what was going on. But the assistant gunner, one of the other guys, he was splattered by. I don't. Maybe I shouldn't tell this part.
Yeah.
He was splattered by the gunner's brains. He had it all over his face, but he woke up quickly because he knew we had a fight. And by the way, this is while thousands of tracer rounds were racing through the sky, just above our heads. It wasn't way up in the sky. It was right there. If I'd stood up, I would have had a split personality. And I mean, that's how it was. But we woke up and got on the gun. No, he stayed there. The assistant gunner, the 3rd guy in the hole, he got on the gun. And anyway, I crawled back to our position because I was being called names by my foxhole buddy. Get back here. This was right after I was out of ammunition, of grenade. Now, a grenade launcher, a grenade from a launcher is the same as a hand grenade, 40 millimeter. Instead of being thrown, it's shot. It can reach. You can reach 400 meters with that. A hand grenade, thrown hand grenade, you can do 35 meters maybe, or 40 meters if you're a good shot.
So were you able to get more ammunition from the?
No, I had to stay. I had to but I wasn't out until well into the fight. All I
to the
did was
fight. Okay, then.
I had a 45 caliber pistol. I was shooting that, but well, I think I downed quite a few VCs. I'm not proud of who I killed over there, by the way.
Well, it's either kill or be killed, right?
Yes, because I am a Christian and I felt guilty about it afterward.
Yeah,
After
well,
the
I
fact.
think at the time these things are happening, because you know what, I think this is probably one of the first times that a lot of people are starting to really hear about what actually happened, because there's so many people who never say it,
Yeah,
and
never
they never
talk about
repeat
it.
about it, and some people are really hearing
That's
something
who I would
that
like
really
to
happened.
reach, particular.
Because it's a narrative from excerpts of your book.
Our artillery, 105s, we have, I think it was two, well, it was 10 guns, it was 2 batteries, were firing point blank range. They were like the old days. They lowered their muzzles. That's how this, it was very intense. My own sergeant was a veteran of the Normandy invasion. He landed on Omaha Beach with the 1st Infantry Division.
Right.
And he said he has never seen that kind of intensity of fire. The enemy had it when they wanted it. Yeah.
Now, how old were you when all that happened?
I was an old man. I was 20.
Wow.
uh,
Well, you weren't as old as Al.
well, see, the 17, that's how it was. The 17 and 18 and 19-year-old guys were young guys. But if you hit 20, you were an old man.
Old timer. Okay.
And,
Well, Al, I'm glad you weren't there, because then you would have been just,
Well, I'm
old
glad
as
I
hell.
was there too. Did you? How did you kind of feel being there at that particular time? I mean, what were the things that were kind of like really running through your mind a lot?
terror.
Terror.
Is the biggest feeling. Terror, but you overcome it because they're coming at you.
Yeah, and it was just a job at hand.
Yeah, it was, And we just killed as many of them as we could because they kept coming and coming. I understand that out of, it was 2 reinforced brigades, and I can tell you the number of the enemy, but as the 273rd Full Load Battalion and the the D-800 Battalion of the 9th VC Division. Our arch enemy, by the way, we met them quite a few times. But they kept coming and coming and coming, and there was 2 incidents. When I was out at ammunition, all I could do is watch. But behind us, there's a couple of humorous points with the armor. Now, the armor was behind us, spread out, and I could only see 2 or 3 vehicles, armored vehicles. But the one was the VCs apparently didn't know that a tank was a periscope, had a periscope. They buttoned up, and they looked out through a periscope, okay, which meant their head was down. So they were climbing on the tank, putting explosives on there, and they didn't last more than 10 seconds because one tank would sweep the other, each other, and they were good about planting them, that quick. But one VC climbed on, and while his buddy was planting, fixing the booby trap, the other saw the tank commander, and he fired into the periscope, but he didn't know it was a periscope. And this is all, of course, happening very quickly. And he looked down and said, it was like he's scratching his head, he's still there. And then he was killed, but it was funny. And combat humor,
Humor, yeah.
You know.
Well, years later, I guess these things, how long has that type of thing haunted you? I mean, has it bothered?
to the point where you can now talk about it.
Every day. It's not as bad as it was in the early years, like about up to 20, 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote my book. That helped me a lot.
Right.
And that's what I would like veterans to do, is write their stories down in a book, or a story, a long story or a short story. But whatever happened to them, 48 years is a long time to harbor.
Bottle up that type of.
Yes. I still suffer from, I call it battle fatigue, because that was just the beginning of our big fights.
Because a lot of it is considered what PTSD.
Well, it's
now.
now,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
prestigious name, PTSD,
Yeah, that-
as opposed to battle fatigue.
That's what I'm at the VA for,
Yes.
and Agent Orange. In our area, Phuc Vinh was one of the heaviest areas of saturation of the what we call it the defoliage stuff. We didn't know
Right.
the name of it. I was with the 1st Battalion, 26th Infantry, the Blue Spaders. That's the name
Right.
of my book. But I would encourage veterans to write their own story down. This will help. This is what helped me because, of course, I was a Christian too. But this helped me to get a lot of my anger out. I don't want to even tell you the original story title I had for my book because other veterans I had critique it for me. Said no, this is wrong, so I changed it to my unit.
Okay.
But I was bitter, and I was bitter more against the American people than I was against the Viet Cong. We could handle the Viet Cong, but we couldn't handle the American people when we came back. I was spit at, shot in the back of the head. They shot one of us down in an airport in San Francisco. Okay. And Maryland, University of Maryland blocked a funeral procession. US Highway 1 goes right through campus. And they all sat down and blocked a funeral procession of somebody just because he was being buried. I lost a girlfriend over it. Wasn't much of a girlfriend, but it was the reason why she broke it off because I was in an illegal war.
Well, listen, when you think about all the things that were going on, the firefights, the people you saw get killed and everything else, and then come home, and then the people that you did all of this for
Don't appreciate it,
and they do this to you, I guess that would be the thing that made you so angry and so bitter.
well, we're going to talk more about that right after this short break. But keep that thought because I want to hear what happened, and I'm quite sure all my other veterans out there want to hear. So we'll be right back. Give us a short break.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, and we're back. Hey, listen, just to kind of recap a few things real quick. Next week, we're going to continue a call about the anniversary of what happened in Vietnam on ALS. Listen, guys and gals, until we come back, I want to let you know that if you got a claim going and if you got ALS, now they're not going to drag ALS claims on and on and on and on. They're going to do a quick study, and if you've got ALS and you're suffering from it it's going to be on you to get in there and check with the VA, because now if you got a case of ALS, it can be 100% right away to you, and you need to have it checked out right away. We'll get some more information. We'll put it on the website and get that to you. But next week we'll have some more information on it to you. In March, we got the VA coming, and we have some great nutritional news for you. Please check with us, because we got some great things coming up. All right? And until next week, Denise.
Have a great week. See you then.
Carl.
Have a great week, and may you have a blessed week ahead of you.
And everybody,
be safe.
Be safe. That's exactly the one thing we like for you. We love to know that you're out there and that you're all blessed.
Yes.
Have a great one.
I love my daddy.
My name is Cody Wyatt, and I'm a disabled American veteran. I joined the United States Army in 2002, and I served in Operation Iraqi Freedom from November of 2003 until November of 2004. I was diagnosed formally with post-traumatic stress disorder with generalized anxiety disorder. Kiowa helicopter was shot down in the middle of the city. Every day literally felt like a constant struggle to stay alive. One thing about the disabled American veterans that really stood out for me was the fact that they were so involved in the community.
They were able to help him get all the benefits that he deserved. And there's always another wife there that you can sit with, that you can talk to. My children are able to be involved in the junior auxiliary, and it has grown our family, definitely.
Whenever they make a promise, you know they're going to keep it.
Daddy, go! Daddy, go!